This podcast is protected under the laws of the United States and other countries. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, or exhibition may result in civil liability, criminal prosecution, and the wrath of the tall man.
Boy!
Hey, let's talk about you, the ID10T community events at ID10T.com, like Russ Stevens, a.k.a.
Cat Bus Russ,
who has started a podcast called 90 for Chill, which Russ says is dedicated to movies with a runtime between 74 and 99 minutes, the time frame that I feel is ideal. Russ, I could not agree with you more. That is a fantastic idea. Russ goes on to say there are times you need a cinematic fix but don't have time for the latest Scorsese masterpiece or offering from a comic book universe. There's also times when you need a conclusion to prevent a binge costing you a whole night. My guest and I try to follow these guidelines as we chat up features that are definitely worth your time and are beyond easy to make time for. 90 for Chill, the podcast, can be found on all major podcast platforms at 90forchill.com, and that's spelling out 90, Ninety, 4 FOR, chill. So there you go. Thank you so much for sharing, Russ. Really great idea for a podcast. Events at ID10T.com for everyone else.
All right, suppose we settle down. That's far enough. Where'd you get those glasses?
Tooth Fairy.
I'll bet.
You got him. Make yourself shaving this morning.
You look as shitty to us as we do to you.
Impossible.
It would be easier if we don't have to splatter your brains. Just take it easy. And you stumbled onto something here. Maybe we can all benefit from this slight misunderstanding. Now let's go someplace quiet so we can talk this over.
So you bastards die just like we do.
Thank you for checking out I Dig Crazy Flicks presents 90 for Chill, the podcast with Cat Bus Russ. I am your host, Cat Bus Russ, and welcome to the conclusion of John Carpenter month. This is part 2 of my conversation with Gregory Carl in regards to 1988 They Live, starring Roddy Piper and Keith David. And this conversation will be a little more wrestling heavy, as I noted previously. Again, the audio is a little iffy on Gregory's side, so pardon if any F-bombs slip through. Other things we do discuss, though, besides wrestling's influence on this feature, is the idea that Kevin Smith is kind of the current John Carpenter, at least in style of direction. Something I throw out there. Does Gregory agree? And we also try to pay a little more love to Al Young, famous actor / stuntman you can see from anything Big Trouble in Little China. Well, if it's John Carpenter, he's probably in it. He's also in Die Hard, Rapid Fire, nothing but classics in my opinion, or I just can't think of the bad ones. Lethal Weapon's another one. So let me get through the formalities, and let me note that to fill in more John Carpenter coverage, I did watch Memoirs of an Invisible Man, which may not be a Carpenter film, at least stylistically, but it shows his skills to competently direct about anything. So I hope you enjoy that review. And let me just get through the formalities to get on to the main conversation. If you want to support the podcast, there are many ways to do so. First, rate and subscribe on your favorite podcast apps, 5 stars preferably. Be as honest as you like in the comments, though. I will learn, and thank you for that. You can follow me on my social media at CatBusRuss. I'm primarily on Blue Sky, but I'm also on Threads and Instagram, just not very active on those. You can also become a Patreon member. That's patreon.com/IDigCrazyFlicks. For $3 a month, you get a shout out on each episode as long as you're subscribed. So thank you, Tim Bates. You can find him on the Arena and Night of the Demons episodes of this podcast on this feed. Thank you, AAW backstage personality, The Scoop Staley. And thanks, Dad, for even more support. You also get yourself a waterproof sticker. I put them on all my water bottles at work, so I know they work. And you get access to the original 90forchill.com, the podcast feed, which is on Podbean, but I don't want to be associated with Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, and other conservatives / racist and sexist. Oh gosh, you understand why I don't want to pay $30 for that when Spotify just wants my content. Primarily, you get to see how I've grown and evolved as a podcaster. The most important way to support the podcast, though, is come on the podcast, be a guest. If you have a movie that's off the walls, bonkers, just not in touch with the current reality, I think we can fry up some podcast gold. Just send an email to rustthebus07@gmail.com. That's RUSSTHEBUS07@gmail.com with a movie, a theme, a director, an actor, and let's get to work. But if you have something a little more subtle, down to earth, reality, a fun little indie comedy, maybe a rom-com, something with Ethan Hawke that's not horror, as long as it's between 70 and 100 minutes, I'll happily talk about that. Before we get on to the show, let me thank Stacia Marie Harden for keeping an eye on me, keeping me out of too much trouble. And I hope she's doing the same for everybody else she touched in her life. And I hope she's squeezing the ectoplasm out of Skimbleshanks the One-Eared Angel, which is funny because we're going to make a Ghostbusters reference right off the bat in this conversation with Gregory. If you want to get right to the show, skip to the 14-minute mark. Thanks for your time and patience, and enjoy I Did Crazy Flicks presents 90 for Chill, the podcast, John Carpenter month.
It all started on a Tuesday in March. If George hadn't introduced me to Alice...
Let's not do anything cheap and meaningless.
Okay, what do I owe you?
and she hadn't been so spectacular, maybe I wouldn't have gotten so loaded that night.
10 minutes. I'll be as good as new.
And none of this would have happened.
Something's happened at the Magnascopics facility in Santa Mira.
Next thing I knew, I went from high profile to no profile.
What have they done to me? Wait a minute, who are you guys?
Keep your mouths shut, all of you. You're in a state of molecular flux. If you want to live, you're gonna have to trust us.
Where have you been? Everybody's looking for you.
I'm here. Sort of.
I want my molecules back!
Now there's a price in my head.
The single most exotic intelligence asset on the planet is ours.
I don't sleep well. I can see through my eyelids, I can see through the top of my head.
But I'll never sell out.
Think of the adventure we could have together. Oh. Yeah, we can go to Frontierland.
Don't be afraid. It's me, Nick. You want to sit down?
If not for Alice,
We're the only people that can give you your life back.
I'd be lost forever.
You have a face again.
You don't have any body makeup, do you? Dropped about 10 pounds. Bet I'd look great naked.
Alice! Go away!
She saw me through it all.
I got him.
Nick, I love you!
Chevy Chase,
Morning. Morning.
Daryl Hannah,
Boy, how am I gonna tell my mom about this?
Just tell her you met a guy. Could be serious. He's transparent.
Memoirs of an Invisible Man. A John Carpenter film.
To conclude John Carpenter November on I Did Crazy Flicks with Cat Bus Russ, I decided to go into the old iTunes collection where there's plenty of movies I haven't watched yet. You know, if something's $4.99 and I was curious, I will probably purchase it. That leads us to 1992's Memoirs of an Invisible Man, starring Chevy Chase, Daryl Hannah, Michael McKean, Sam Neill as your villain, quite the cast, Patricia Heaton, I think it's Stephen Tobolowsky. He's probably best known for being the guy who keeps annoying Bill Murray in Groundhog's Day. That's the groundwork. It's a comedy, and it's not really a horror comedy, but I think Carpenter does a great job of referencing the original The Invisible Man from Universal, Claude Rains, James Whale. It's basically a stockbroker who, after getting hungover, drinking away his woes of not being able to hook up with Daryl Hannah this night he meets her, despite he gets her number and such, and she just had actual work to do. He blacks out in a sauna at a nuclear testing company, and during this blackout, the computers overload, and the building disappears, and so does he, his body, and whatever clothes he was wearing at the time. So they've even figured a way to... Well, we don't necessarily have to imply he's nude all the time, but there are a few jokes about that. The script was originally written by William Goldman of Princess Bride, Butch Cassidy, and the Sundance Kid fame, but Chevy Chase wanted something more serious. He didn't want Clark Griswold in a horror movie, dare I say. He rejected Ivan Reitman and William Goldman's efforts. Desperate for a director, Warner Brothers turned to John Carpenter at the suggestion of Chevy Chase, which is nice. You get a pretty straightforward comedy, I would say. There's plenty of, as I say, Carpenter's great job paying homage to the original concept, at least the original concept in cinema, without going too dark. You know, you don't have Chevy Chase planning on raping anybody. You just have Sam Neill chasing him because he would make the perfect CIA spook. And Sam Neill will kill anybody to uncover the secret. You know, it had to have been a decent set, at least, if Sam Neill eventually works with Carpenter on In the Mouth of Madness. The jokes are solid, but I really do feel there's a Goldman influence on this. The later scriptwriters didn't stretch too far. I guess it's just like, no, Chevy Chase refuses to look overly goofy. But the supporting cast is good. There are some jokes that are definitely not PG-13 stuff, but early 90s, and we do get a Silver Streak type moment near the end of the feature. Chevy Chase is doing his best to elude Sam Neill. So I don't call it, I'm not going to call it blackface, but we don't just, or brownface, we just don't assume, at least in the 90s, that white people were driving cabs. Hell, one of the supporting members of the Big Trouble in Little China plays a cab driver earlier on in the film. It's worth a watch. It's fun. It's nothing exceptional, and despite Carpenter's directorial flourishes, it's not really a Carpenter movie again. This was just done after he was fighting with the Alive Films company over rights, I believe, with They Live. So he hadn't directed anything in the previous 3 years. So he was just trying to get back on the saddle. After that, it's In the Mouth of Madness. I've heard good things of Children of the Dam, Village of the Dam, I'm sorry. And I happen to like the late 90s all the way up to Ghost of Mars, which is funny because that was recently a How Did This Get Made episode. They didn't like it. It was the director of Challengers, the Suspiria remake, Call Me By Your Name, Luca, and I'm not going to butcher his last name, pick for a Criterion Collection. So yeah, Ghost of Mars deserves a lot more love, and I only bring it up because this story is kind of told in flashback the same way as Ghost of Mars is. It would have been fun if Ice Cube would have popped up and said, you know, tide's rising, it's time to stay alive, but yeah, we'll settle for the sweet snow scene at the end, I suppose.
Hello there.
I would just like to thank How Did This Get Made's most recent mini episode in regards to John Carpenter's Ghost of Mars. Paul and Jason interviewed Ed Brubaker, famous comic book writer, and he was disappointed he couldn't be on the Ghost of Mars episode, and they did get into discussion about how bad that movie actually is. I think it's a classic, comparing it to Memoirs of an Invisible Man, where Brubaker said, I'd love to hear some stories about dealing with Chevy Chase. And according to Paul Scheer, John Carpenter hated working with Chase and Daryl Hannah, noted that they were divas, and that Chevy Chase would constantly remove the makeup effects. Hey, at least we still got Sam Neill in the Mouth of Madness.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll. Bring the noise.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Was that guard just talking into a PKE meter?
Yes. Yeah. Right. I did. Yeah. I was about to say, I'm not the only one who did catch it. There, like the first time
before, till just now.
Yeah. Like the first time I really, I think, sat and watched They Live was actually Monster Vision on TNT with Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah.
and he actually had Piper on the show. So that's how I knew that he improvised. I came here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And so geez, I'm really working through all this stuff.
He really just like once this movie gets going, he really just stumbles onto everything.
Yes, no, it's somewhat
he just happens to be in the right spot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's your classic action movie to begin with. I mean, Die Hard, it's the Die Hard and Die Hard 2, it's like, the wrong guy, the right guy at the wrong time. Really, I think Commando's the only one where people just don't walk into stuff. Because Commando, they kidnap Schwarzenegger. Which is just a dumb idea. Like, same thing for the Expendables too.
Yeah.
You don't kidnap the action star, Running Man. Like, no, like, you want to stay away from this guy. Granted, the Running Man, they do kind of make it a point, like, yeah. Oh, well, I guess they just wrote smarter. I don't want to say smarter because this is a very intelligent movie. They Live. It's great satire. And so here's the thing with They Live, and probably the reason why it doesn't get the respect is because, or at least basically in 1988 was, again, people were, we're celebrating Reagan's. So if you're rich, you're not going to understand the message that Carpenter is going to give. And then it comes to the end after the signal is destroyed and they cut to like Siskel and Ebert showing that they're aliens. And it's like, I just have had enough of the John Carpenters and George A. Romero's and their unnecessary violence. And I think that's
I do love the end of this movie, dude.
Yeah. What's up, baby?
Yeah.
That's the last line of the freaking movie. That's it. And then it's just, and I wanted to say this because there was a panel at Fan Expo about what's the future of horror. They had one of the representative from Nerdist, and then they had two guys from the Windy City Double Feature Picture Show, which is an interesting podcast. I had fun listening to it. Last episode they did was about a actual double feature that was in Chicagoland. It was Ralph Bakshi's Wizards, an animated movie. That was the A feature. The B feature was Brian De Palma's Phantom of the Paradise, which I do need to see. I mean, it's a musical, but it's like Brian De Palma.
I hate musicals.
Well, I love Rocky Horror though, so. And never mind, you wanted to do Repo Man, and we might get to that at some point just because I can't get that podcaster Jessica Quaz from Second Chance Movies to.
Oh shit, I thought you already did that.
No, I was saving it for her because she said, oh, my buddy, my co-host on Second Chance Movies doesn't like horror movies. So
it annoys me, but the visuals in that movie are awesome.
Yeah.
Like I respect it.
Yeah. So yeah, just going through my notes by this point. Again, let's see. Don't trust anyone who equates booze with thirst. It's just a fun little story about the fight between Keith David and Roddy Piper. Keith David was stiff as all hell.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I think I heard that somewhere before.
Right. Well, it's like Piper was hoping that he studied dance. He was on Broadway. He knows how to do this stuff.
That's probably why that fight scene was better than most matches I've seen on any wrestling on TV for past couple of years.
Oh yeah, no. So it's like,
good.
let's see. So, but what I was getting at with Kevin Smith is like, yeah, basically I get to him and he just says, do you want me to tag this or personalize it? And I say, oh, you can just tag it. And he
mentioned Moose Jaws at all? What's happening with Moose Jaws?
Moose Jaws, I don't know. Clerks 3, that was the big thing because there was a Clerks panel with Dante, Brian O'Halloran or Dante, Jeff Anderson, Randall, and Trevor. I can't remember his last name. He played Elias, and he just doesn't act otherwise. But they're all coming back for Clerks 3. And I blew that question because everybody was asked the questions I got in the queue for. Like, Jeff, I mean, this movie, Clerks 3, is about Randall making his own movie. You have directed your own movie. Find that kind of meta?
He doesn't get enough props for the horror work he's done. He's done really good horror movies.
Oh, Red State is brilliant.
It's really good.
I was talking to a kid, a new hire at work, and again, I'm feeling older and older. Like another employee bought a Toad stuffed toy, Toad from Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
And I said, he said, oh, I'm getting it for my dad. It's like, my dad doesn't give a shit about Super Mario Brothers. Oh yeah, my dad is 74. Your dad, I'm old enough to be your dad. Like, oh geez. But what I was getting about Kevin Smith though is like, I think Kevin Smith is essentially like he's really kind of more in the vein of John Carpenter than you'd think. Like John Carpenter directs great movie. I mean, he's a pretty limited director. Like, he doesn't try these wide shots. He doesn't try anything spectacular. He just comes up with a great story. He's the vision behind it. And it's basically he's protecting his script more than anything, which I think Kevin Smith's the same thing. Like, but that new hire we were talking about, like, I was trying to bring up, like, how would you know Kevin Smith? I don't know. Tusk. Oh gosh, that movie traumatized me. Like,
yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah,
it's goofy as all hell when you like explain to someone. You sit down and watch it, like it gets pretty wild, especially at the end.
Oh yeah,
I got really high one time. I was really high when I saw the end of that movie, and I came up with this whole sequel in my head with a girlfriend. Like, it starts trying to find somebody to turn her into a walrus so she can be with him.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that could work.
It could. I still maintain that 100% could work.
So when it comes to the Moose Jaws, I think that was after Yoga Hoser's bomb. I think they were just because I figured it was going to be the third of the Canadian trilogy.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, which was Yoga Hosers, which is under Yoga Hosers is a great B movie. Kevin Smith made that movie for $1 million. I mean, hell, I am Team Amber myself, just because, like, great, everybody was bad mouthing Amber Heard, so now women are not going to go and report assholes anymore.
I feel like Yoga Hosers is like a trauma movie with a bigger budget.
Right. Well, no, $1 million. Like Toxic Avenger 2 had $1 million budget.
Okay.
That was probably because they shot so much of it in Japan, but.
Oh yeah, that was the one way he went to Japan.
Right, to find his dad.
Toxic Avenger 4.
I have only seen the first two. I love the first two, but I'm a bit like this is
trauma guy, dude.
I mean, the only ones that really just trauma movie that disappointed me was Surf Nazis Must Die.
Well, they reused a lot of footage in that, didn't they? From other stuff.
Oh yeah, always, but. No, Surf Ninjas, just nothing happens until like the end, where the black woman whose son is killed at the beginning goes nuts and does all the Nazi killing.
I was thinking of Trauma War. I don't think I've seen Surf Nazis Must Die.
Yeah, they used to, like, and Lloyd Kaufman said, I don't know how they got him on Netflix. Like, I don't sell the right. I mean, I hold on to my rights. Like, but I saw a lot of it on Netflix. That's where I saw, like, actually the first time I saw Toxic Avenger, it was pretty much like a rip right off the DVD.
Terra Firma. I saw that on Netflix.
Yeah, I never got around to Terra Firma, which I hear is marvelous. Same thing with Poultrygeist. I really need to see Poultrygeist.
I haven't seen Poultrygeist.
Oh, like they showed it a couple times in Peoria back when they had the indie theater, and then which is a pretty sad display for the independent theater in Peoria, which only lasted maybe a couple of years. It was owned by one of the Goldberg sons, if you're familiar with the Jam and Jay Goldberg group. Yeah. So, like, I went to their first double feature, and like it was a movie called Brain Dead, not The Brain Dead, which is the entire reason we went there. We thought it was Dead Alive. Honestly, I loved it though. Still, it was just so over the top. And then the second movie was called, I think, Scream, Shout, Stomp, which is like a parody of all those surfer movies where a girl band is kind of got themselves stranded in a situation where they're dealing with a skunk ape, an underappreciated legendary monster. And yeah, so but like they had to delay the show because they needed a Blu-ray player to show these movies. Eventually somebody got him a PlayStation 3. Like
Yeah.
But yeah, really cheap stuff. Prices on the booze though were fun. But that
I don't think there's the same appreciation for those types of movies anymore.
Well, I mean, this is the, like, I was so I had been writing screenplays for about 2-3 years before that. This is all back to Stephanie Smith. Like, she wanted to, like, you tell a great story. Like, you know, I want you to document your wrestling stuff and we'll make a comic book about it. Okay. And then eventually she thought she got her life back together. She got her life back together after, because we had joint trauma situation, which is like, my best friend passed. She was friends with my best friend. And at the same time, the lawyer she was living with, had been in a relationship with, was pretty much going to move to Thailand to be a decadent, which he did. So basically she was abandoned. I lost my best friend. So we kind of bonded there. And then once she got her confidence back, she started dating douchebags again. So the comic book went to shit there. So I journaled for about 3 years of my wrestling. Basically Danny Daniels is saying, you got to stop doing that. You have to be social with wrestling. It's different now just because of the, basically if you can just show you got a gimmick or great talent, you know, the politics is kind of lost. But back then it was all about politic, and even if you didn't want to, you were going to get yourself, you weren't going anywhere. So basically you had to look like you're willing to talk to everybody. You can't be by yourself.
Yeah, I need to start talking to more people.
Yeah, and that's just what it is. It's like, oh gosh, I did not, like, I'm out of the, in and out with Kevin Smith like nothing. It's like, but this is the, like, maybe I should have bugged him to try giving my podcast like a bump, But that's not me.
I want to tell him about my Tusk idea. Not a horror. It's a drama sequel.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. But basically because I started watching these B double features, it's like, well, screw it. I could make like, that's my first. So I wrote like 3 drafts about my wrestling, fictionalizing it, and then after seeing enough of this, I abandoned the indie movie I was writing. Like I needed to write new drafts to like know what? No, I'm gonna make myself my B movie. Like I got friends in wrestling still, yeah, in Peoria. This is their one chance to be something, and nobody ever responded to like the idea of main event of the dead, zombie professional wrestling comedy.
I think that could 100% work because from what I hear and understand, just from my limited knowledge, it sounds like Amazon just buys everything.
That's no, well, it used to be Netflix would greenlight everything. I mean, I don't need that. It was basically this is a movie I could shoot for, definitely less than what Clerks shot for. Clerks shot for 27,000. So it's like I could come up with all of that somehow. I just need the people to get behind me. Nobody did.
I'm paying more for the van I'm making payments on than Kevin Smith made Clerks for. That's smacked up.
Yeah, well, that's inflation, though. I mean, a van back in 1994 was about close to 20 grand.
Yeah, you couldn't watch a movie in those smackers either.
Yeah. But so I mean, my Nissan I drive around is how much does it run for? It came in about 25. So and that was 2013. That was 2012. It's 2013. Still runs pretty well, and I run like I was raised to run cars till they die. So, but all right. So yeah, made the Kevin Smith. I guess another reason why this isn't really gotten a remake is because of the superhero fad. And then, like I was basically saying, oh, this got a lot of similarities to The Boys in a way. If you've seen that on Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I quit watching it for a while, but
I'm still trying. Like, hopefully, I will have binged the next season before I go to C2E2 next weekend. But then again, I'm the type like I gotta rewatch it to get to the new season. So it's gonna be hell to get there. But
it's not because I didn't like it. I don't know. After so long, I look back.
No, I understand why people check out. It's like, and that's just some things run their course. That's all it is.
To go back.
But so again, I think I did make the comment that wrestlers need to be cast in more movies. Like the only problem with that idea is that the wrestler has to be allowed to play their wrestler. Like
yeah, they have to be allowed to have a personality, and they're mostly not anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dwayne Johnson, like I'd say it took a good 10 years for him to finally, like, he's the biggest star now, but it took 10 years before you realize, oh yeah, just right. Like, what would you think The Rock would do in this situation? And eventually they nailed it. And he's the biggest, and he was always the biggest star just because he was put in the right movies. But like, I'm excited for Black Adam. So hell, I do want to see Super Bets.
Awesome.
But
I forgot Super Pets was the movie, but
yeah,
I'm looking forward to some Black.
It just came out this week. And look at John Cena. Like, he didn't have a good movie until Trainwreck.
I never saw it.
Oh, okay, well, he's basically.
I love Peacemaker, though. Have you seen Peacemaker?
I've watched all of Peacemaker, yes, but it's basically it's
so good.
It's the point of the matter is that it's like you can see John Cena actually doing that. Like,
yeah, that's true. That's it. He is very much Doctor of Thugonomics as Peacemaker.
Yeah, and then in Trainwreck he's plays Amy Schumer's first boyfriend in the movie, and you just know he's a closet case. But he's acting like what you'd expect John Cena to act like, having a sense of humor and such. I guess that's a problem with wrestlers, is that they have to have the sense of humor for the most part. They've done great things with Dave Bautista, though. I will say that. Like, obviously Drax, sense of humor again. But he was good. He was good for his brief role in Blade Runner 2049. Like, very stoic, and you're going to kill him off right away. And I'm kind of disappointed he did not show up in the last James Bond movie. I thought, it's Dave Bautista. He could survive that. But he didn't have any lines. He was a mute. And
he was good too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Dune.
No, I haven't seen Dune yet. But the fact of the matter is, he's developed into an actor. And I guess you could say Dwayne Johnson did the same thing, but I still would say it's like nobody, like Dwayne Johnson in Doom is not is not Hobbs. Maybe Sal.
Yeah, but he was so hot from wrestling then, like that. I think that's what really got him in, is that he was just so damn popular. Like, people who didn't watch wrestling knew who The Rock was.
Right.
Same with Steve Austin. Like, it was a different time.
Well, Steve Austin, it was more of his age that got him. Like, I love a lot of Steve Austin movies. The Condemned runs it along, and it's a little too brutal for my taste. Like, you have wrestling fans coming to this. Again, it's a WWE Pictures. This is where Vince McMahon does all the stuff he wishes he could do. Like, nah, I don't think we needed that Vinnie Jones rape scene. Like,
yeah.
And I love Vinnie Jones. So, like, it was just a very unapologetic movie. And it's like, that's not what I wanted to see. I just wanted to see these guys fight. I didn't need to see, and then Vinnie Jones just kills everybody. Like,
as he should.
Well, no,
Vinnie Jones but he's just so cool in movies.
Yeah,
I'll buy him for killing everybody.
Oh, well, no, I'm just saying, it's like, yeah, but you're just being cruel by this point. And like, Vinnie Jones is gonna go nuts and just kill everybody. Like, yeah, but there's a lot, like, you kind of get to relate to or empathize with, like, the people shooting, like, doing all the production on the Condemned at the show. It's like they're finding what they're doing tough to watch. And then yeah, they're gonna die for it. Like, I just felt a little excessive. So, but yeah, I'm through all my notes. Pretty much got everything covered there. Anything you that really stands out that you think needs to be addressed? Oh, well, I guess another thing with pro wrestlers is, like, the best pro wrestlers improvise. Like, AEW should start their own movie studio. Because John Moxley was great, and I liked 12 Rounds 3. Basically,
they could remake Sheba's the Street Fighter with Dean Ambrose or whatever. John Moxley.
Yeah, right, exactly. So it's like, but John Moxley, he definitely has, like, an everyman vibe, which is what Roddy Piper has and got him They Live. CM Punk, I can't say he was great in Rabid, but I hear good things about The Girl on the Third Floor. I think
my girlfriend watched that and she hated it.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure that's the one.
I wouldn't be surprised, but no, I mean, and I know he was in a Jacob's Wife, I think, in a supporting role in that one. It's a Barbara Crampton movie, so it's got to have potential. But I'm just saying, Punk can definitely be directed. So I mean, maybe not Bryan Danielson, but I mean, Chris Jericho has proven he can act. At least you could cast him and stuff. So,
no, anything to make him a little more popular. I used to be a Chris Jericho fan, and as I get older, I hate him more and more.
I think to some he's just overstayed his welcome. No, I think I am one of those guys who just like I wasn't like when he was trying to get the
like all he's doing right now is just redoing Vince Russo's SEX stable thing that they had in TNA way back in the day.
Yeah, see, I I was a fan of the pay-per-view days of TNA, not the I kind of got blown on. Spike was a little, I can't really say there was any great eras of Spike wrestling.
There wasn't. I'm still in the pay-per-view era.
Yeah.
Raven just stole the title from Jeff Jarrett. Or no, actually that was the last episode I watched. Jeff Jarrett just the title back.
Yeah. Oh no, that was a big problem. Jarrett and Russo were breathing their own. Well, I can't believe they were able to sell that to Dixie Carter. Let's just say that.
Yeah, there's some nutty points in that.
Yeah, but no, I think Jericho's always figured a way to make himself work, and I think a lot of people are just like, I think especially now after AEW hired Punk and Danielson. I mean, there's a lot of complaints that, well, now you're just doing the best, old WWE guys. And it's like, well, this isn't like TNA where they would just hire any old, WWE guy. These are like Danielson and Punk. Both were legitimately the best at the world at what they did at one point. And Chris Jericho the same. I'm not afraid to say that. Like the only Jericho I didn't really care for was the one he's most proud of, his Anton Sugar character in 2008. Like I didn't get that.
I don't think I was watching then.
Oh, basically that was the Shawn Michaels feud where basically Chris Jericho was just, I'm so over this. I'm cold, emotionless. Like he was inspired by Javier Bardem in Old Country for Old Men, No Country for Old Men. And like he just kind of took away all the Jericho-isms to basically say, I'm just the best at the it came down to the best. It was basically, I'm the best in the world at what I do, was how that all started up. But it was very cold and calculative. Now that I talk about it, it's like, yeah, that isn't a bad idea. So, I mean, I think it's just more with Jericho. I think it's just like people just I think people feel like he's just taken a spot from somebody. Like, I really wish I'm not afraid to say it. Like, he could just go to commentary and be awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The JAS, like, there's no way you were going to get Daniel. Like, Daniel Garcia was not going to find. I don't know how else he would fit in the show, and definitely, I don't know where you would put Angelo Parker and Matt. No, let's see, Magic Matt.
Garcia had a good match with Wheeler Yuta at Death Before Dishonor.
Yeah, no, he had a great match with William Yuta, and then he beat Bryan Danielson on Wednesday. Like, Garcia is going to be but if it wasn't for the JAS, Garcia is just going to be lost in the shuffle. So I don't have any. So that's just it. Like Jericho could I hate to say it, maybe authority figure at some point.
Hey, you're a cat guy.
Yeah.
We should do Fritz the Cat next time.
I need to see that. And I am a big Ralph Bashki supporter. Fire and Ice was fun. I was talking about that with somebody at work today. Interesting.
I have it on right now with the sound off, dude. Fritz the Cat's a smacking pimp, dude.
Yeah.
A long time, like, oh yeah, this is a hardcore cartoon, dude.
Oh, it's the first. I think it's an X-rated movie. So yeah, no, Fritz the Cat sounds like a good idea because I do need to watch it. So, as I say, Bashki, American Pop is my favorite Bashki movie, but everything he does, there's something worthwhile about. Like
I'm a sucker for the old school animation, man.
It's like, I don't know if he was doing the retroscoping at that point. I think in 1977, that's when he started doing retroscoping, which was basically taking live action actors and just really tracing over them to do the animation.
Okay.
It's very prevalent. Like he did Lord of the Rings in 1979, I want to say. Which it really just does the first 2 books. But yeah, he did an animated Lord of the Rings.
That was one of my very first movies I ever watched. If we're going to talk movie memories and all, The Hobbit, Ralph Bakshi.
No, The Hobbit wasn't Ralph Bakshi. That was Rankin Bass.
Okay, Rankin Bass. Okay,
yeah, which are more known for that company's more known for their stop motion animated holiday specials. It was actually animated in Japan. By Toho Studio, Toei, maybe Toho, one of the bigger animation studios in Japan. So yeah, that's but yeah, no, definitely, Fritz the Cat's something I need to see. I mean, we go from Fritz the Cat, it's impressing enough. Maybe we go and do the dangerous thing and tackle Coonskin.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
It's Ralph Bakshi. It's supposed to be about the Black experience. It's highly regarded by a lot of people. But yeah, it has a very abrasive name, obviously.
I don't know. Fritz the Cat 100% could be made today. Just
you see now. Well, it's Art Crumb. It's based off Art Crumb, and I guess Crumb didn't like the movie. Actually, he wanted to get disconnected from it. Art Crumb.
Yeah, Art Crumb was a weird guy.
Yeah. Yep. Most definitely. But I'm a big Ghost World fan, and that's a lot of inspiration from Crumb as well.
Really good documentary.
Yes, directed. Yeah, no, they when I went to Ebert Fest just to see Ghost World, and again, there's an episode about it. And it had Terry Swigoff, the director, and Thora Birch, obviously lead actress from Ghost World there. And there was a great bit because it actually, like, the sad thing about Ebert Fest this year, besides for me deciding, well, the Peoria Rivermen won the President's Cup, so yeah, I don't feel too bad skipping out Guillermo del Toro hosting Nightmare Alley in black and white. But the big thing about Ebert Fest, the tragic thing was Gilbert Gottfried was going to debut his documentary here in Champaign, and he died just like a week before. But Terry Swigoff did, like, just to pay homage to Gilbert Gottfried. He was on Gilbert Gottfried's podcast, and they played a bit from the podcast where Gilbert Gottfried reads a review from some like Stormfront or Stormer, whatever the white nationalist website is. Basic neo-Nazi website, really. Basically reading a review of Ghost World by Nazis.
I don't think I've ever seen Ghost World.
Oh, it's based off a comic book by Daniel Klaus. Daniel Klaus has got a wide range of stuff, but very there's a lot of Crumb influence on it, or at least from the director standpoint, because he was the guy who did the documentary on Crumb, Terry Swigoff. And then there's even bits where they draw some of the characters or some of the images drawn by our lead character. They were actually drawn by Art Crumb's daughter. So a lot of influence there. So, but yeah, Fritz the Cat. That's what we'll do next. If I need to pull something out. I'm always looking for guests for the show. It's not hard to be on the show. Just send an email to russthebus07@gmail.com. That's RUSSTHEBUS07@gmail.com with a movie. And I'll say any movie because I'll figure a way to make it work. But ideally, sub 100-minute narratives. So if the movie ends, if the story ends and then the credits roll before 100 minutes, I will count that movie. If there's this, if there's a, but no, if it's like a Marvel movie where they throw a like, you know, end credit scene, no, that won't count. But like there's movies like Under Siege qualifies. The Last Starfighter qualifies. So, but
you haven't done The Last Starfighter yet?
Have not yet. So a lot of options. See, you don't want Gregory Carl to take them all. So send an email to russthebus07@gmail.com and we'll talk. We'll come on, give the internet a slice of fried gold, as Shaun of the Dead said. And yeah, Shaun of the Dead qualifies, but there's a lot of people fighting for that one. And otherwise, follow the show. My Twitter accounts that I use the most is @CatBusRuss. If you want to talk trash about the podcast, please do it there. Otherwise, rate and review on your favorite podcast apps. 5 stars, preferably. I do return the favor. And yeah, let's fix those algorithms. Let's stop Podbean from sending me white nationalist podcast suggestions. I mean, I didn't know what to put down when they said, "Oh, and pick a podcast you follow." Well, Joe Rogan's hit and miss. That's before he went totally nuts. But
yeah, talk about rich people who can't seem to connect.
Yes,
that's a guy that is 100% lost touch.
Yep. But look, the only reason I'd move to Texas is because they can't extradite you to another state over your debt. Otherwise, no. I want nothing to do with Texas. Let them fall off the frickin' nation, my opinion. But just make Austin like Berlin, I guess. Put a big wall around it and just let the liberals have their town. Okay, so otherwise, thank you very much, Stacia Hardin, for being my inspiration, keeping me going. I hope I'm impressing you up in heaven, and I hope you're still doing the same for everybody else you touched in your life. Gregory, you have your podcast. Is it weekly, bi-weekly, The Mud Show?
I don't exactly have a set schedule. It's kind of hard with the kids and all. I just kind of do it when I can. I have notes for the next episode. I just haven't been able to sit down and record it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, there's just so much wrestling to watch. That's my big problem. Like, I can do all the AEW. I let Wrestle Talk in the UK do my WWE stuff for me.
Well, this next one I did NWA. I watched my first episode of Impact that I've seen in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, no, I heard your commentary on that. It's like, I don't think AEW is that bad right now. It's because the wrestling is still excellent. I mean, if you're looking for drama, yeah, AEW falls short of that. But I'm an indie wrestler. Like I was, as they say, Ring of Honor was the place I wanted to end up. But I didn't want to ever work for WWE. I would take a WWE contract just so I'd have that money. But I would.
Danielson's back. It could turn around.
I'm sorry.
Danielson's back. It's probably going to get a lot better.
Oh no! As I say, it's just more of a drama and storyline stuff. If that's what you're watching wrestling for, I'm very much just a in-ring action guy.
Yeah, I almost feel like Impact's like an AEW light.
Oh yeah, there's a degree of that, but I think that was, if it wasn't for Tony Khan lending Kenny Omega, Private Party, and Christian Cage, I don't think they'd have the direction that they have. So
I like that episode of Impact though. Like it wasn't as bad as what I was expecting it to be.
I can't say they did any when I was there for the entire Kenny Omega run, and I can't say any of the episodes were really bad. There was some silly stuff like Johnny Swinger's House of Swing, his casino, but
oh yeah, I haven't seen any of that. I'm kind of working my way through TNA from the beginning.
Oh yeah. Oh no, TNA was fun. It's just, and that was, I kind of liked it because it was very random who they would get. Like, oh, you got the Sandman for about a month. That was cool. Raven Sabu, very cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like how when I started watching MOW.
Yeah,
all the people I thought were awesome were just immediately just leaving for AEW.
Right. Well, NWA right now is looking pretty strong too. I don't like Trevor Murdoch with the belt. I'd rather just go back to Aldis, but
yeah, I did that episode. I took notes on that episode of the NWA, and right after I did that, all that news broke about Aldis.
I wasn't familiar with any news about Aldis, honestly.
There was some kind of, he got pulled from the main event for the 74 thing.
I know Cardona got pulled. Sure you're not mixing them up? Matt Cardona.
That's coming up. They're supposed to be Trevor Murdoch and Nick Aldis.
Well, that ended up being the event at the last. They fought for the vacant title after Cardona broke his arm. Like I think it was that, at least that's what I thought it was. I think it was Aldis versus Murdoch, and they put the belt back on Murdoch.
No, it's like Latimer now or something. I have to look it back up. I don't remember who it is now. It's Trevor Murdoch or somebody else.
Okay. Well, that's stuff you'll hear on the Mud Show. So give them a listen. I know they're on Spotify. And otherwise, if you can find Gregory Carl on Facebook, he's not too hard to find.
I got Lucha Libre mask now. I'm pretty easy.
Yeah, okay. But thank you very much, Gregory, for the couple hours. I know it's getting late. I am not used to drinking this late. Like, I woke up this morning after goth night in Urbana, and like I'm naked and there's Taco Bell wrappers. What the hell?
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I used to be a 6-night drink. You know, if you basically don't trust somebody who doesn't drink is the lesson because my ex-girlfriend, she didn't drink because of her antipsychotics, but actually it was more the Valium to level her out, but she wouldn't drink, so basically I didn't drink. So very hard to you do lose it after about 7 years of but all right, well, thanks again, Gregory, and I can't wait to have you back on the show.
Anytime.
All right, cool.
Can I hear a wahoo?
This podcast was made possible by the love and support of Dave and Cindy Stevens, Rory Stevens and Allison Higgins, Danny Daniels, and Stephanie Smith.
Long live Flash! You've saved your Earth. Have a nice day.